So as we're getting closer to paint, we also want to address the hatch, which I'm going to go ahead and jam out the vehicle first. Door jams, sunroof, hatch, and while I do that, of course, I want to go ahead and jam out the inside of the hatch. Now, tools that I like to use to do this, of course, this multi-purpose blaster for the two bolts that are here, because those tend to get seized. So we're going to spray those first. We're going to spray those first so that we can get the lubricant to go inside the bolt and loosen those up. All right, this is what I like to use here. Let them soak a good bit in there. It's probably the last thing that we're going to attempt to take off. In order to take those off, in order not to strip them, I always recommend a big Phillips head with also, if you've got a crescent wrench or one of these adjustable wrenches to give you a little bit more leverage, I do recommend it. Also, I recommend using plastic clip removal tools. These work great. And I also have this one as well that works in little tight spots for the little plastic screws that tend to strip. Flathead screwdriver for the struts, because there's little clips back here on the back end that you can insert the flathead, move that clip a little bit, boom, it pops right up. And then a stubby Phillips to get inside those little tight spots inside the actual hatch here. So let's go ahead and start removing the strut. I'm going to come in a little closer for you guys. All right, and as you can see, there's a little slit here that we want to get this flathead into, and just pry it right off. Basically just turn your wrist a tad bit, it'll come right off. Then you can use, if I recall, to 10 mil or 10 or 12, might be 12. I'll have to double check to remove that nut there. So let's go ahead and place this one on the side, and we'll start working on our other one as well. All right, again, let's go ahead and pick this up. And make sure I get you guys that little slit that's right there. Go ahead and insert that there. Comes right off. Leave the clip in, because when you do reinstall these, I can show you here really quick. Basically, the clip is still in place. Little clip, you just push it on. So there you go. In place. Remove, insert, take your time. There's no need to rush. There you go. Comes right off. Next, we're going to focus on the cover for the third brake light. So basically, you just turn, twist, it pops right off. There you go. And you've got a little clip here. That's what catches it in place. And of course, these two little slits for the brake light. You see there's little slits here on the brake light on each end. So whenever you do put this back in, you want to make sure you go over the brake light, and then of course are turned in place as I just did. We'll remove, pop right up, and that's it. We'll put this on the side. Now we're going to focus on the stubby. Comes into play for these little ones here. These could be a little stubborn, depending if anybody's ever removed them or not, because they tend to strip. So you definitely don't want to apply too much pressure. Just lightly turn them. As you can see, I just have it resting on my palm, the stubby, and as that screw pops up, you want to just let it do its own work. That's pretty good there. I'm gonna pop this one off. Again, just let it do its own work. Don't apply pressure because you will strip these plastic screws that are 30 years old, basically. There we go. Now, what I like to do is use my clip tool at this point and basically just play with it a bit. There you go. Comes right off. This one here is a little more of a challenge because it is pretty deep, but we have it pulled up enough to where it's not too bad. There you go. You can see I don't really remove them all the way, just basically a little bit halfway there. So we'll move on to the two that are here. Let's continue with these two. Again, there's no need to apply pressure. Lightly just spin your stubby on it. Screw will extract itself. About halfway there. Same thing here. Oh, this one's actually easier than the other end. The other end has more of a little sinkhole to it. This one should not be bad at all. Now this is my preference, is I like to use little Ziploc bags and put anything that I do take apart from the hatch all together. So eventually I'll put these all in a Ziploc bag and label that Ziploc bag. We do want to take the bump stops off. So I'll do that. Basically just unscrew them. And I'm gonna clean these up really good, you know. So much age and dirt over the years that accumulate on here, but you can clean these up really good. Let's turn over to the left side here. Same thing. And remove this one here. There we go. As you can see, really dirty. There's a bunch of dirt built up, caked up in there, and we'll let these soak up. We can clean them up real good. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start removing this third brake light here, which is two 10 millimeters. So we'll start on that shortly here. All right, let's go ahead and start removing our third brake light here. Here is a little clip here that usually I just take it off once I remove these two bolts. So let's go ahead and get started here. And again, we're gonna make sure we keep all of our hardware all together. Should be able to lift right up. Really nasty, gunky, dirty. And you're just gonna have one little clip here that press down with your thumb. That little clip there, you press down, deactivates it, unclips it. There you go. All right, and of course we're gonna clean this up all nice, make it look good again. It's always a good idea too, before I forget, check your bulbs. You know, these are really old, and again, in my case, I don't know how many people have owned this CRX until I actually run a Carfax on it towards the end of the build. I like that to be one of the last surprises, to see how many people have actually owned this car. You know, it's just something that my preference. But yeah, as you can see, they're little bulbs. And just unplug them, come right out. And you can order these off Amazon, like the hyper white ones, a little bit more of a brighter bulb. And as you can see, this is probably a bad bulb. I can already see it. See if we can get this to focus here. We've got like a little piece sticking out there. Let me see if we can get that to show. There it is. See that? That's a bad bulb. We're gonna just put that in there for now. But we will make a note to replace that sucker out once we do the reinstall. Alright, now let's start off with plastic clip tool. Just because, again, you never know, these things are super brittle, and I kind of want to see exactly. It's going to be this one here comes off first, and then this one here. And the reason why is there's a piece that attaches to okay, so there's like a clip here and a clip on this one, but this top plastic piece has the clip that attaches to this, or actually I should say the top and bottom. And in this case, there's a little opening on this piece, which is the top, for the bottom to go ahead and attach to it. So we'll go ahead and start removing. You gotta be really careful here. It's been a while since I did one of these. Okay, you want to kind of gently work your way and just pull it your way. You won't damage anything. Just got to be really careful. There we go, and we are intact, guys. So these tend to break a lot, right, when you pull them incorrectly. Again, this is 30-year-old plastic that's really brittle. That one's still intact. We're still intact here. We're still intact here, and we're still intact here. Now, the reason, and this is what I remembered now, that you don't want to pull this bottom piece off first is because it's technically still screwed on. I want to give you guys a little view here. There's still a screw here. And there's also still a screw here. Let's see if I can get that right there. So we're gonna go ahead and start removing those now. All right. Again, take your stubby. Again, light, super light pressure here. I don't want to do too much to end up stripping it. And this is all about just being patient. If you try to rush through something like this, you're definitely going to strip that 30-year-old plastic bolt. I think we're pretty good there. Should be able to just undo it by hand. Now this one doesn't have a clip like the others, or housing that it goes into. This one's just more of a plastic screw. You want that screw head to look just like that, so when you put it back. want to backtrack and correct myself. It does have a housing it goes into. So we're gonna go ahead and put that back in there so that we can reuse it and not lose it. Alright, that one's definitely gonna be stubborn, so we're gonna have to get a little creative here and improvise, which I hate to do this, but in this case, don't really have too much of a choice here. We're gonna apply a little bit of pressure from the back end. I don't want to force that either. Let's try this one out. Got it out enough. Well, we can get it out. Head is still good. Plastic is still good. We should be able to just get it out from here now with no issue. And sure enough, here she comes. She's trying, but again, this is how brittle they are. It's pretty much there, but at the same time, it's giving me a little issue. Let's see what happens if we try to tighten that up. I definitely want to get it out. Let's see here. There it is. Come on. Yeah, we'll deal with her after. But we'll get her out. I'll get her out, whether I need to push her from the inside here or just play with it for a little bit, but I'll definitely get it out. But again, we're gonna put this with our other parts. Now that we've removed that plastic bolt, we should be loose here, and we should be loose here on our other end. Once we remove the two plastic screws, one that was on the left side, one that was on the right side, we should be able to just pull this piece apart. It should detach slowly, and you'll have these little clips that go inside, and you want to make sure we get all those clips. So we've got, looks like we got them all attached here still, but I'll show you here how these clips go. Basically, these are really easy to reattach. They go into the little grooves. We got one that's still intact here, so let's see if we can get a good look there. And we want to reattach all the other ones same exact way. And basically, when you reattach them, you have this little bottom end with the teeth, and then of course the top end here, that if you're looking at it from where the bolt screws up, or the latch, basically this is your top part here, and your bottom is these pieces here. So we're gonna attach those on here so that we don't mess anything up. All right, so these are back in place. All the screws. All the clips, sorry. Clip here as well, and clip here. Now, as you can see, there's also the little clips that the plastic piece slides into. Alright, so let's see here. This is one of the clips here. Here is, let's see here. That's number 1, number 2. They should all stay intact here. Number 3, number 4, and number 5, and 6. Now, another part that I also want to remove off of here will be the internal weather strip. So we're going to start removing that. And then there's these little plastic clips that go around the whole hatch that I will remove, including this liner that goes on the edge of the glass. And I like to remove these just so that I can get a nice clean paint job, especially when, you know, I'm changing the color of this CRX. Initially, the CRX is black, but I'm going Y49. So we're gonna clean these up really well. These are really easy to remove. I always see people asking, how do you remove them? Honestly, you can clean this plastic up really well and put a little double-sided tape. Now, in order to remove this little weather strip from the inside, just simply apply a little pressure and it's just gonna come right off. Now, this rear hatch has been tinted before, obviously, and that tint seems to be about as old as the last time this car got restored. It looks like about 30 years old. And we'll address that later on in the video with steam. And I'll go ahead and get that all nicely removed, cleaned up. Let's go ahead and finish up removing this little strip here. Now, if you're asking, well, wow, how does he detach the hatch and whatnot? Well, inside of your passenger side quarter panel on the rear quarter, this little piece here is almost towards the tail light, if I recall. And actually, yeah, it's almost towards the tail light where it connects with another connector. You disconnect it and then just pull from your hatch side by the how can I call it? I guess you could say the jam. The hatch jam has like a little passageway for this wiring. Just pull it right out and everything should slide right out once you've disconnected this plug. Let's go ahead and continue to remove. There we go. And we're all fully removed. Now, I won't be buying this new either, because these are really, really easy to clean up and restore and get them looking as new as possible. Now, I will most likely leave this in here. Now, for those of you guys who want to remove it, it is possible to remove it. Basically, it's connected by the rear windshield wipe or rear hatch wiper. You can pretty much disconnect your harness from there and pull it alongside this rail. So just turn you guys here a little bit, but alongside this rail you can run that whole wire and disconnect it from the rear windshield wiper motor. Pretty sure that's where it connects to. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. Yeah, 100% it's by the rear windshield hatch wiper motor. You can disconnect that and then just run that wire all the way through, and then when it's time to reinstall it, just run a cable through it, a nice little thin cable or thin aluminum rod that you can just run through this little seam or this little hole here and push your wiring all the way through. I have done it before. I'm not going to do it in this case just because I'm going to tape everything up and I'll have this levitated a good little bit where I can just go ahead and shoot around and not have to. I'm just basically cutting one less step that I really need to reinstall everything on, and just cut a little time. But other than that, we're gonna go ahead and remove these little plastic grommets that are on the side here. Now these are the little plastic covers that you'll see around your hatch. There's one on the top end and there's two on the sides. One of my favorite ways to remove these. They are a little bit tedious here, but again, plastic is your friend. Plastic versus plastic. Harder plastic will win. All right, let's get these other two on the side here removed, and I do want to show those to you all. All right, we have our other two, 1 and 2. Again, nice little plastic clip here. You can get these on Amazon. Hopefully I have my storefront up by the time you guys are watching this video, and you can order them from the storefront. We're off. And one way to always tell which one is which, the top hatch one is a little bit bigger versus the one that goes on the side. Again, rubber versus plastic. Your plastic's gonna win. Hard plastic. All right, let's go over what we removed on the hatch. Which, of course, we've got our window rubber seal, I guess you can call it. Goes on the inside of the hatch. You have the two outers that go along the back hatch glass. You have your plastic hatch panels, which, again, you never know what you're gonna find. Like, what is that? You know, it's, who knows what that is? That might have been gum from 1990 from whoever was riding passenger, just decided to chuck that thing back there. Who knows what that is? But then we also have this piece here. You've got your third brake light. And you have all your screws, bump stoppers, plastic screws and whatnot are all there. And then, of course, your 5 rubber plugs. Now we're gonna put this all together so we don't lose it. And when it comes time to reassembling, we have everything again proper that we need. Now for this piece here, honestly, I have another one. I'm not keeping this. I could try to clean that up, see if I get it off, but I have no idea what that is. I have no idea. That's funny. The things you find in a 30-year-old car. All right, guys. As promised, we're upgrading equipment. We're gonna do a unboxing. I did mention that we're gonna keep going on with the CRX content. We're gonna keep doing the build at home, raw footage, but we wanted to upgrade the equipment, right? Because I've been editing on my phone, and if you look at my first videos versus my most recent videos, the editing skills are good. I'm learning little by little. So with that being said, I want to unbox what we just got. And this is, as I stated before, what I want to do to provide you guys with better content, better quality. I want to engage with you guys. Now, this is the first piece to the equipment. All right. Let's go ahead and undo this part here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring in somebody special here to come and pull this tab, and that's gonna be Ava. Ava, can you come over here? Pull this tab so that we can show the audience what we're adding to our camera. Go ahead, no, pull it back. Sweet. Let's unbox. Do the countdown.
3, 2, 1.
This is our new MacBook Air. We're gonna go ahead and start doing some nice video edits. On this MacBook, we're gonna transfer everything from that's being recorded off of our phone, and also the new addition that I'm adding, which is the Canon camera that we have. So you may see me on 2 different screens once I get this thing to be able to edit on this camera, and of course my phone camera, and we'll make sure that we get some good edits done with the new MacBook Air. Now this MacBook Air is an M2 chip. We're looking at 256 gigabytes. It's a hard disk size of 256 gigabytes actually. Incredibly fast, and it's a 1080p FaceTime HD camera. And basically I just want to give you guys the best content I possibly can with the best edits I possibly can as I continue to learn. Hopefully you guys keep subscribing to the channel. Again, I'm answering any comments, any advice I could give during my build. I'm helping out as much as I can. But with that being said, let's go ahead and open this one up. Let me bring in my feature again of Ava. You can pull the top off. Sweet. Very nice. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what I present to you. Is going to be what's gonna assist with making some better edits for you guys. All right, with that being said, this clip here, I may insert it. Actually, I'm gonna insert it in my next video. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, hit that button right there, and share it, please. I'm really trying to make this happen. Let's build this channel. Let's pump the channel. Again, hit that button right there. Peace.